Hello, everybody. Today we're taking a look at Dilithium Wars. This is a great space conflict area controller set in the Star Trek universe. This game is an adaptation or reimagination of Axis and Allies, built on the AAA video game platform. This is episode 3 of a playthrough video series meant to showcase some strategies and to demonstrate real-time play so you can see for yourself some of the various features Dilithium Wars has to offer. In single-player mode in this game, if you choose to control just a single faction, like I am here as the Federation, you have to fight a two-front war right from the start. And this challenge, I believe, is where the fun is at. So I'll give you a quick recap if you haven't seen videos 1 or 2. The Cardassians are to the south, and the Dominion are to the east on the star map. I'm the Federation, the blue on the top left. And I'm trying to knock out either one of them, or the Romulans, who are yellow and are located on the opposite side of the galaxy from the Federation. My alliance is with the Klingons and Vulcans, and together we must take control of the planet at the center of the galaxy, named Radan, and this is a dilithium planet. It's the focus of the war that you fight in this game. Additionally, the Borg are a random element, and they try to assimilate everybody, but my Vulcan allies routed them, so as of right now, they're no longer able to influence the larger ebbs and flows between good and evil. So let's take a look at the action here. It was interesting that over the course of this game, the only front that was able to move in a positive direction for the Federation was the one that opposed the Dominion, the pink guys. I believe it was mainly because they, were trying to fight the Vulcans at the same time. Also, or they were locked in, a destructive battle, big battles with them. But I was also able to break up huge invasion fleets before they landed on my planets, and I think that was very costly long term for the Dominion. To the south on the map, made virtually very little progress against the Cardassians. But most disappointing to me was the fact that I just have been completely unable to advance towards the center of the galaxy, where the big prize is. Fortunately, as you can see right now, the Vulcans own it, so it's still held by my alliance. But it's pretty embarrassing because, I'm probably the only faction in the entire game that has not even approached Radon. It's taken all of my effort so far just to hold off the AI, Dominion, and Cardassians. And sometimes I've had to even face the Romulans, who've made it right across the galaxy into my space more than once. I have not been able to do the same. I guess that's not so surprising because I don't like to use the wormholes that can get you far distances very quickly. I just find that it kind of breaks up your fleet, and anything that passes through them, has the potential of getting swarmed and whittled away. So I avoid using the wormholes. I probably should, though, use them more often. I'm not really happy with the progress I've made in this game so far. So you can see the big battle. This is for Osroot. This is an important outpost for the Dominion. It's the main planet next to their starting starbase. So by taking this, I can
make a note in the log.
Argue I have made some real progress in this game. But that's one of the few positive things I can brag about here, if I'm able to hold it. The Federation has not expanded as rapidly across the galaxy as I had hoped here. But, I mean, you can see, like in that battle just in Urania, the Cardassians are able to deploy really strong ships still. It's the Dominion that have wilted. And there's Oswoot, which is something that I'd hoped to take. And you can see most of the neighboring planets are held by the Vulcans, so the Dominion are in trouble here. You would think they would be. However, they've been able to climb up the ranks, which is another thing that I have not been able to do. So they will intrinsically make more command than myself and have more buying power. I have to seek promotion again. I wasted a lot of dilithium trying to climb up the ranks. I failed promotions, but I can't blame my superiors in this game. I've not been able to secure radon at all, not even for one turn, so maybe not expected here. Yeah, they still, I mean, as you can see, the Dominion still have a formidable armada of ships. They're down on planets, that's for sure. It's interesting that I'm getting some support from the Klingons in Oswood there. That's interesting. The Cardassians in the south have really made a stand on Urania, though. Every time I look down there, it seems like they have more ground forces. If this promotion attempt fails, I've probably wasted no less than like 60 dilithium trying to get even the first rank upgrade. So, no wonder I'm just not as powerful as I might have hoped at this point in the game. Dominion. Yeah, they're coming after the
return to
Romulans.
Combat level.
Vulcans can really give both the Dominion and Romulans big headaches in this
Reinforcements
game.
are coming.
They've really bounced back from where they started this game. They really were reduced quite shockingly at the beginning of the game, but they've really sprung back. Here comes the Romulans. Yeah, see, looks like they're going to win that. Yeah, they won that battle. Zendova. Lots of ships. Flagship there.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Klingons are just up and down like a yo-yo almost. Their fortunes seem to depend on how aggressive the Romulans are. If they do just, they can take stuff back. They run all up into the Cardassian space. They're helping me out on Oswood too. Are able to climb up the ranks. So see what the Cardassians have here. Because they're looking not so hot all of a sudden. They're going to take a Klingon planet. See the flagship there? I'm not sure what version of Star Trek that appeared in first. Like what episode. There's a Romulan flagship. Oh, see, wow, I got Rear Admiral status, finally. It's about time. That was starting to get embarrassing. I was so far behind in the ranks. So that will give me more buying power. Yeah, Klingons, Dominions. More rank than I do. So this is going to be a tricky part to sort of make the final push against a Dominion. You know, before I can think about invading their, or conquering their star base, you know, you have to deal with their space fleet first, and it's not small. Yeah, what's that Romulan ship doing beside Olympia? I have to deal with that. A lot of science ships, a lot of scouts. They have a lot of sort of auxiliary ships too, the Dominion, which makes their fleets a lot more powerful. They're surprisingly tough when you have a lot of support vessels. More so than you think. I got the Defiant there. So I guess speaking of that ship, like, why not take a few minutes in this video to talk about DS9, the third version of Star Trek? Since I talked about the original series in episode 1 and the Next Gen in episode 2. So when I think about DS9, I would have to say by the time it came out, I was off to post-secondary school, which wasn't close to my hometown at all. And I was doing the whole poor student thing. And I didn't really have the time or interest to follow the series as it played out in the late 1990s, I guess it was. So I don't think I even had like the cable stations, Sci-Fi Network or Space Channel, for a few years. That's how I would have to watch it back then. So I remember I would only see like bits and parts of it here and there, I guess in reruns and stuff like that. So in other words, at the time, it was basically impossible for me to follow it closely and get into it, and therefore to fully appreciate what it was. What little I did see of it, I liked, but from what I could gather, it seemed more like a soap opera than an action-adventure series. So I wasn't massively stoked for it. I never had the feeling like I just couldn't wait to see the next episode and stuff like that. So only many years later, after streaming and Netflix became a thing, did I then, sit down and watch the whole show in order. And that's when I discovered that I liked DS9 a lot, actually. And although I found it slower paced, it was still interesting. And the show itself became, I would say, a great benefit to the larger development of the Star Trek universe. If someone even were to say that DS9 was their favorite Star Trek show of all time, I could get it. There were a lot of positives about it. First and foremost, they had good actors. They had a strong cast. I think this was especially true for the evil characters, like the guy who played Gul Dukat. I thought he was great villain, Mark Alamo or something like that, I think his name was. They had the Dominion, the Vorta. They had a lot of interesting bad guys, in fact. And I think that's what makes either like a good movie or a good show. You have to have those interesting bad guys with, depth of character. The show, I think it also incorporated a lot of intrigue. There's all sorts of different factions, changing alliances. It had the Obsidian Order, Section 31 with the Federation, Maquis. Even had like the Time Police in certain episodes, stuff like that in the show. So I think there are real interesting twists and conflicts and things going on all the time. So that was interesting. Um, in addition, I think they really fleshed out a couple of the main races that until that point only had superficial treatment in next gen. For example, Cardassians, Ferengi, who I just think are so hilarious, and were a great idea for an alien race. The hyper, cattle capitalist philosophy, and it was just so funny. I also like the Dominion, the tension with the shape-shifting founders. It was all very interesting, like very interesting. It also had its share of really fun episodes too. Um, or some of my favorites. I guess the one where they go back to the original Enterprise, of course, with the triples. The mirror universe was fun. There's more than just one episode like that. The one where Cisco had a vision about being a science fiction writer in the 1950s, and I think it was in black and white. I thought that was a great episode. So good. I also really like the one where Quark's son, he had like PTSD as a war veteran, and he teams up with the hologram character Vic Fontaine in the holodeck to create like a successful casino and stuff. I thought that was a really good episode. So no doubt there's a lot of fun to be had with DS9. And I guess the last thing I'll say about it is, in my opinion, it was probably the very last of the top tier Star Trek shows. So anything that came after it, you have to. It's just one sort of notch lower than the big three that came before it. That's just my opinion. Anyway, back to the game. So we have the Vulcans here. What are they doing? A lot of support vessels, a lot of command vessels there. It could really be the key to successful gameplay, actually, is really... Oh no, the Romulans have radon again. And they won some big battles here. So they're not out of it. Big invasion fleet there.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah, the AI definitely likes their support vessels. Klingons there. They're in such a pitched battle with the Romulans. It's hard to tell who has an advantage. From one turn to the next, things just swing so much. But you can see now the Klingons are really able to ship a lot of men around. Well, that thing's undefended though. And they have a flagship now too. I'm probably the only power. Oh no, the Dominion don't have a flagship, but yeah, Federation and Dominion are the only factions though without like a big, powerful ship. That's cool. Klingon and Romulan. Equal force of ships opposite a asteroid field, just staring down each other. So you can see that in my southern front, bordering the Cardassians, there's such a depletion of serviceable ships. I'm just not able to create any kind of offensive. I could pick off hanging transports here and there. The one in the Dwarf Star, I guess it is. And that's about it. I just don't have the ability to create offenses on multiple, or be offensive on multiple fronts. So, I'm just sort of going with the flow. And the flow is the Dominion going backwards, so I'll just sort of lean into the momentum on that front. It's going to be a while before I and sort of reorganize and prepare a viable invasion fleet that can threaten the Dominion starbase. But I'm working on it. You can see I'm building up Oswoot, move the front from Olympia, one planet over. There's still stragglers though in the Dominion space fleet, so hopefully I can pick that one off. In the asteroid field there. I've got it outnumbered, so it shouldn't be a problem. Badly outnumbered. Nine guys. It's not enough. Have to wait until that advanced is repaired as well. Yeah, see, they got me outnumbered in ships and ground forces, but that'll change in my favor because I think the Dominion are losing the ability to get some of these planets back. Got the Pegassian transport, so that buys me time on the southern front. What do I want here? Cloaking devices are nice, but flagship upgrade. It'll make the flagship worth buying.
Unable to comply.
Of course. So now I have to play the sort of arms race of personnel with the Dominion if I ever hope to capture that space station.
Affirmative.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to be deploying a lot of stuff to Oswood. That's going to be the launch off point. We're going to have a big space battle with the Dominion soon. Where they got? You see, they can still take planets. Certainly not as dangerous as they once were.
Return to combat level.
A lot of personnel, though. Holy. Vulcans really spreading out, getting in on the action. Just took a Dominion planet there for me. Or at least did some damage. More damage. Yeah, the Pact of Powers aren't looking good. However, I mean, they do, like, the Romulans still hold radon. That's the one thing that they have in their favor. And believe me, it's not a minor thing. Although I think it looks like they moved off it to take another planet. They're going after the Klingons big time. Well, they lost to the Klingons there. Unicorn, wow. It's a defeat. I was prepared to say they're going to win every battle here.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I found a different spot on campus to record videos. It's quiet except for all the birds, and you got a lot of, I guess, squirrels and animal noises here. No people though, which is good for recording videos.
Warrior is transferred.
Klingons. You'd think they'd have enough, industry ships. There are 5. Holy.
Reinforcements are
They
coming.
get 15 industry just from their ships. That's like 3 planets worth. Or more. Borg cube. Still bopping around. I should be able to force a confrontation with the Dominion fleet here. Showdown. I'm getting close. Maybe one more build turn. 3. Yeah, I don't have enough yet because they have. Yeah, they have a lot of scouts. And you always have to remember the scout ships are like infantry in Axis and allies. So, it's always something to worry about in Axis. You see a country with a ton of infantry. It's not going to be easy. Gotta be careful. Some Romulan transports there looking to move. That's cool. They're the exact same size. Coming up to my part of space. See if we can deal with this Dominion scout. Yeah, I can at least, I can't take the Romulan planets, but I can park their invasion fleet on the planets that they took, pin them down for now, till I can get my own ground forces mobilized to take some of those planets. Won it, but I lost a ship. Roll for tech. So I hope with these playthrough videos I can at least, I guess, demonstrate, convey how interesting and challenging Dilithium Wars is. I mean, I've been playing it for hours now, and unlike computer versions of Axis and Allies, hardest level even, you really, I don't know what it is. It doesn't even matter how complicated the game is, but once you get like a leg up on the AIs, I mean, you're talking like no more than 40 minutes before you can kind of tell that you're going to either win or lose. But this thing is, if you want a longer, sort of drawn out, epic battle or contest or conflict, whatever you want to call it, I recommend Dilithium Wars. There'll be ups and downs and unexpected reversals. It's really well done, and it's free. I mean, how, like, a free game this good, open source. So it does actually get improved and upgraded every once in a while, and honestly, like, I've been playing this for several years now, and when it
Return to
first
combat level.
um, when I first saw it, it didn't look as good for one. So they've made improvements with the graphics. And I'm pretty sure they've added new features too. Like I think even every race may have gotten one more ship or something. Even it's definitely been more polished. Um, yeah, it's just great. Star Trek fan, you like strategy games? Uh, Highly recommend this. And I'll say this again. My favorite way to play opposed is just like hot seat. It's just, I don't know, it's so much more fun if you're just sitting beside someone, you're sharing a laptop, maybe have like sports or a movie or show on in the background, and you can play a game on the side. It's my favorite way to game. Hot seat opposed. I'm old
Reinforcements have
school.
arrived.
Just don't really like it as much if it's remote or online for some reason. And of course, like, AI is fun, but you always want to play these games against like another human opponent, ideally.
Warrior is transferred.
Klingons, I think, would probably be the coolest faction to play. Just the ship designs and warlike kind of
Reinforcements are coming.
nature of the whole race thing going on. They're just lots of fun. So, what am I going to do now? Just have to keep on building up Osroot until I can obviously overwhelm the Dominion space station. And right now, it's interesting that they've split some of their forces and elected to defend 2 planets. So I might try and split the difference here. Like, I might try and use my ground forces to take the planet to the south and all my ships to attack the Dominion fleet orbiting their space station. It's getting close to the point where I'd have like 1-to-1 odds, which is probably okay because I can build more. If I can outproduce somebody, attacking at 1-to-1 odds is not as risky as it otherwise normally would be. You can afford to lose. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Have an advantage there. We'll bring some firepower here. Constitution class. So I can't bring it all because I want to take Rabatis too. And I have to deal with the transport, which isn't helpless. Not in this game. The transports do have combat and defense value. Not much, but still. So we'll see how this goes. This is a big move for the Federation. Aggressive move. Other front, though, you can see is completely depleted. I have almost nothing in the south. I'm just gonna try and, delay, pick off like single ships just like this all day long with the Cardassians. I just cannot afford to make two huge offenses on efforts on two different fronts. Right now, the Dominion are the priority since they are wilting badly here. Yeah, Klingons have Ray done, which is good. Yeah, see if I can pick off a Romulan scout. Got it.
Make a note, Molo. Initiate new attack path. Make a note, Molo.
Okay.
Initiate new attack path.
Wow, just crushed them on Robotus. Oh, crap. One, two, yeah. That's not good. This is bad. Yeah, that's horrible. I severely miscalculated. That engagement. That's going to take a couple turns to rebuild. That was hugely. That was a big defeat for the Federation. It's fortunate that it comes so late in the game where the Dominion are already in severe decline. Like, I can bounce back. It's just a setback, man. That's disappointing. I should have known better. Just I didn't have the patience there.
Research complete.
Flagship. Have the warp upgrade, have a weapons upgrade for it. Have to have one. So there you go. The next time I'll have a flagship and things will be different.
Personnel.
There's
transfer.
Picard's ship. Galaxy class finally. Not much left of the Dominion. And soon they won't have any access to dilithium, which is going to be another problem for them. They basically have one. Yeah, that's the. You can still
Return
build.
to combat level.
They're just stockpiling guys on their station. Romulans. Sorry, Vulcans. I don't know how many times I'm going to make that mistake. Use that one.
Reinforcements are coming.
What is the request?
Vulcans are also doing that support vessel move. Yeah, the Romulans are still dangerous as ever. Helping the Cardassians defend at least one of their planets also. Ooh, that's a big invasion fleet that you could see there by the Klingons. 10 guys on transports. Oh, they're gonna... Where was that? Koikun. It's a dilithium planet. That's a good one. It was bad for the Romulans. Flagship even has 5 guys on it. I'm not sure where we first saw the Klingon flagship on the series. There's so many shows.
Reinforcements are coming.
23. Let's see, the Cardassians have a big armada of ships. Doesn't really stray too far from... I think it's DS9, the model for their space station, actually. I never noticed that until just now. And the Federation one is the one from the movies, the Search for Spock, for sure. That's where they. That's what the space station looks like when they steal the Enterprise. Yeah, and it's in case you're wondering. So the only other show that I watched in its entirety was... Oh, no, that's not true. I did watch Voyager from start to finish, and I also watched Enterprise from start to finish. Everything after that, I have not got around to watching. So there's no Discovery, no Picard, and even... I'm not sure I even saw the last movie. So I can't say that I'm up, like I'm modern with my Star Trek knowledge at all. Like, I mean, yeah, I can't even comment on anything after Enterprise. I'll get there eventually because I am interested in it, but Enterprise was kind of another, an even farther step backwards from Voyager, in my opinion. But there were things I did like about it, episodes as well. I could talk about it, but maybe that's something for another video. Raiden wide open. I can't get to it though with any ground forces. It's just a joke, actually. It's just so... I don't know. I'm so disappointed that I have not been able to do that. Vie for that planet on any level. even occupying one of the planets and holding them that border Radon, I have not been able to do. You know, I'm just going to continually try and delay the Romulans and Cardassians from advancing on my other fronts while I try to finish off the Dominion. I mean, it seems like the best strategy. It will require most of my resources to take out that last space station. Because I do have to match the Dominion in ground forces, which requires a lot of money and time to build. I have to be able to land and deliver them, and protect them. So I have to have the necessary ships also. But I'll get there. There's just no way they can outproduce me. And I think actually I have a secret sort of technique I can use when the time is right. I have an idea. So if you reduce a power to just their space station and they inevitably fall into this like all-out defensive posture where they're just like
Research complete.
deploying tons of infantry or ground forces to discourage an invasion. There is a way. There's a way to deal with that, and I plan on showing it to you here soon enough. As soon as I finally defeat their armada of ships, what's left of it, because I did take a beating there the last time I tried to control the orbit around their space station. So once that problem is, those ships there have to go. Once those ships, his home fleet is destroyed,
Personnel.
I'll have something for that 24 size occupation force of their
Complete.
space station. I'll show you how to do it, but not before all their ships are destroyed. So that'll take like maybe another turn or so. 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 5. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe one more turn. They have some straggler ships floating around too. May as well blow some more
Starfleet Command headquarters.
dilithium. Klingon, Romulans, Dominion at twice as more buying power than me. So even though things are looking up for the Khitomer Alliance, you can see there's just tons of room for improvement on my part.
Return to combat level.
Wow, they can build 5 men a turn. So I'm going to have to do better than that just to take them out of the game. Wow, Vulcans and the Klingons are really teaming up there. Have Vulcan support on Osroot now. I think that they're trying to tell me something. They're trying to get me to attack. And I will. But you can see what happens if you get impatient and rush things, like I did with my fleet earlier. You get spanked. I'll put my hat on here, I guess. Engineer. Looks like a train engineer with this thing on it.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Wow, Cleon's beat up on the Cardassians a little bit there. Wow, look at the... We have the entire center of the galaxy now. That's obviously a turning point for the good guys here. Even though the Pact of Powers still has teeth, for sure.
Warrior is transferred.
I can safely say they are likely to lose this game, I think. Unless something truly unexpected happens now. But, you know, you always play it out. One annoying thing, I don't know if you've ever had this happen. This actually, it often happens with strategy board games, area controllers, is so you get to a point where one side, you can tell, is likely to lose, and then the game kind of like unravels, where like people just sort of anticipate the end, and they trigger rolling a failure. What else is new? And you start rushing things, like, oh, I just want to do this, this, and this, and then it just, or they quit, or stop caring. I always like to play it out, you know, like I always, if people start to do that I'm playing with, I always, and I'm losing, and like say I'm the one that's losing, I let, you know, I'm not going to deny someone the chance to play it out and win, you know, take their victory. I'm in it for the story anyway. I think it's funny. Like, maybe when I was really young, I was a sore loser, but I'm not anymore. I you know, it's fun to sort of build yourself up and maybe talk a little trash and then see the downfall. You know, this day and age, it's you, and this is, you know, especially true after the pandemic. Like, you just learn to appreciate any opportunity you get to play opposed, you know, with a live opponent. So, yeah, I don't, win or lose, it's just irrelevant to me. I just, you know, I just like playing, seeing what happens. This is going to be the second attempt to finish off the Dominion fleet orbiting their space station. Only this time I do have the Galaxy class flagship, an advanced cruiser with cloaking. I do not have a lot of scout ships though, which is well, no, that's not true. I have 4. So I do have the cannon fodder, the ability to screen. If this doesn't work, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is the last push. This battle has to work, or nothing will. I mean, then I don't know what I'm supposed to deploy in order to finish off the Dominion. But once their fleet is destroyed, I guarantee, I don't care how many men they're able to deploy on every single turn, if I have access to dilithium and they don't, they will go down faster than you might expect. I have a plan. Ooh, here comes an Cardassian invasion fleet. So I don't have the ships or the power to really do anything other than to block their progress. So that's just what I'm just going to delay on that front until I've taken out the Dominion. Maybe the AI senses it. The Dominion are on their last legs, so they're going to go all out with the Cardassians to attack me in the rear. So
Initiate new attack pattern.
damaged.
Make a note.
This is it.
Initiate
4
new attack
casualties. They roll so well. Well, 1. You can soak 2 with the big ships.
pattern. Make a
I
note
did
to
it.
lock.
It was costly. Again. But their fleet's destroyed now. So I'll finish this turn. And that'll be the end of episode 3. And for the final, like the next episode, it has to be the final one. I'll show you what you do when you get to this. You can do when you get to this situation where you have a power just like pinned and locked into their
Research
last
complete.
space station, and they're just cranking out men to discourage an invasion. You can finish them off. I'll show you. It has to work. It's not impossible to knock
Affirmative.
a power like out of the game when you're in total control, like I am here on this one front. But we'll play out this turn. I'll let the other powers go, and then we'll call it an episode. And then we'll have a conclusion in the next video for the Dilithium War playthrough series. It's fun. I always like this game. Always have. Would it ever be a tabletop physical game?
Return to
I
combat
don't know.
level.
What do you think? It's not too complicated. It could be done. I'm honestly surprised no one has tried a Kickstarter or something. If you think about it, it doesn't have to be plastic minis either. I mean, you could use markers, chips and stuff like that. It wouldn't be as good, but I don't know.
Reinforcements are coming.
Have a lot of cardboard instead of plastics. Could work. Vulcans. Wow, there's a big battle there against the Klingons. To smoke the Klingons there.
Reinforcements have arrived.
The Romulans are still no joke. You've seen what an armada of ships can do when it's backed with a lot of support vessels. They're deceptively, powerful. Cardassians, they're going down the toilet, I think, too, their empire, thanks to the Klingons. They're not far behind
Warriors
the
transferred.
Dominion in that regard. So the Cardassians.
Reinforcements are coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I think their station is DS9 there. It looks kind of like it. Yeah, I guess it is. So anyway, I think I'm going to end episode 3 here. And we'll anticipate the final destruction of the Dominion. It shouldn't take too long. Like I said, I have a plan. 33 dudes or whatever, 5 a turn. I can deal with it. I'll show you. I'll show you how you deliver the knockout blow from this point. It's a lot. It's a lot of guys, but what if I squash all of my dilithium into command to pay for men? I have access to dilithium and the Dominion don't, so I should be able to close the gap very quickly, even though it doesn't look like 18 to 33. We'll see. But we'll wrap it up next episode. And as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more content coming soon.